Welcome back, guys. So guess what? Guess what came back? All right. I told you this spring was going to break right here. So of course the spring is broke, right? But if you just replace this, guess what? You're gonna be back in there probably a year or so. So the spring broke for the drive, and as you can see, that's how we got it in here. Shoelace. Pulled it tight, and so all thread or bolt. I'm gonna have to cut this and make it, but it's a 1/2 inch 13 thread pitch. Okay, and I would just match it to this, that way you can use the original nuts. Just take them nuts off. And so first order of business, I'm gonna just cut that off, make it. Oh, the customer waited too long, so that's what happened. It broke on him, then he had to drag it here behind his truck, and it was quite the scene. So as you guys know, you guys just ain't pushing a 0 turnaround. Not out in the yard anyways. I'm gonna get everything ready before we take everything else off. So I'm just go ahead and make that real quick. We'll just cut at the length, grind a couple flat spots, and then drill a hole like we did before. Alright, so you know, that's what people don't understand. So if you originally don't get the right part, then you gotta sit here and make it work. So I originally drilled that hole, and of course it's off center, so I didn't want to use that. And then I wanted to bring it in and give a little bit more meat here. But that's what you end up having to do. Bring it in, maneuver that spring in there. I'm actually going to install this here first, and then we'll put on the motor like so. But you guys see which way, after you get everything installed, which way this is better. Spring that way, or spring through this way. But we're going to find out. So alright, so now we just need to get the old arm off, swap the idler pulley, and get it back on the unit. Okay, there's the top one. Now that nut's actually welded on there. And you see it wasn't very tight, but you're not going to want it tight. This is probably pretty greasy and dirty. Okay, and there's some washers here you got to pay attention to also. There's one here. It's on the bolt. I'll get that on. Swap this idler pulley. Now this is the time to replace this if it's bad. This one, as you can see, there's no play and it's not ground. I think we replaced this about a year ago with OEM parts, so that's all good. Should be a 19. Careful, don't let that bracket hit you swinging up. Nut. Huh. They use that as a spacer. That's weird. I wonder if there's supposed to be a set screw on that. I'm gonna look into that real quick. I wouldn't think so. You never know. Alright, so there's no grub screw there or set screw. Alright, so let's put this pulley back on. Same way we just took it off. Okay. Finished sure it spins freely. It does. Make sure your grease fitting works. I don't know how many times you put this stuff together and found out you can't put grease in it. Alright, so that's good. You just squirt a little bit in there and smear it around, but you want to grease it afterwards mainly. So you got one of these nylon washers on either side. Yeah, we gotta use some kerosene on that. Putting everything real good. Portion of this. You gotta be on the right side of the belt also. So we gotta pull the belt this way. Kind of turning it as I go, so it kind of lubed everything up. And then you need your nylon washer on this other side. Make sure you're still on all your pulleys and stuff. No, you can't slam this. You can't slam this down. If you do slam it down, it won't rotate. All right, so you gotta make sure everything is still moving. See what that feels like. Alright, so let's get our lock nut back on. Oh, so that's gonna be tough for someone to do this alone. Wrench through there, so now I'm gonna reach under here and hold it as I tighten it. Because if you tighten this nut up top, it actually spins it backwards. So this is why you have to hold it. Everything's moving. Just back this off a little bit. Some of you can actually get to the grease fitting right there. Okay, so you're supposed to have a 90 that fits in that hole. Let me tell you, it's damn near impossible. You pretty much cut your wrist trying to get your arm in there to grease that thing. Verify. Let's double check all the routing of the belt. Okay, you make sure it's still around the trans pulleys, which it is. I got grease all over the place on there. You guys see that? I'm telling you, I was cussing. I was cussing up a storm. Let me wipe. I got wipe some of this grease. All right, a lot better. So I got this packed full of grease, of course, and it's moving freely like we want. Yeah, so it appears it was this way. It was actually like this. So that's the way we'll put it back in. You guys see that? That's what we're changing. Yeah, there's some more meat there, but this thing was like 20 bucks. Do it this way, guys. You shouldn't have to worry about it. And the time you do have to worry about it, you're gonna have a lot more problems than that. Bring this way, like this. So there's your part number. 034-2020-00. I figured this would be a problem. Alright, let's get this back in through here. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty tight. So made that a tad bit longer. We're gonna have to get this pulled over. what am I going to do here? Take it off the idler pulley here. Try to take it off like this. I'm gonna put that in there. Alright, so now we gotta fight the spring this way. Just like that. I had to pry to get that. I'll put a lock nut on there and celebrate this mower's getting out of my garage. Lock them down into place. Alright guys, let's double check one more time. Yeah, it's around that trans. It's around that trans. It's around the crank. Just so you guys know, my bolts are still tight. Still there. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. Everything feels good, it's moving good, blades are kicking on. So, you just want to double check everything after you take a little test drive. You know, make sure everything is seated correctly, things are tight, everything looks okay. So, alright guys, thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one.